our democratic right, we stand with Nigerians, and the time for mass struggle is now. The charter for a protest has started earlier this month. The federal government has come out in many ways to try to discourage us from protesting. Our parents did not fight against the military. They did not fight against the military, lose their lives fighting against the military just for us to come and lose the right to protest. Because the right to protest is the most sacrosanct part of democracy. In fact, many people who do not know about the fact that we are supposed to have a protest about hunger and hardship are going to be coming to this protest just because they are angry at the fact that they are telling us to not protest. Which equivocally states that Nigerians have the right to protest, peaceful assembly, and free speech. No government, no matter the number of votes you got in an election, has the right to stop the people from dissenting. And what we've seen recently is that the government has been threatening, and they are saying that because of the issues of national security, that we should not embark on the protest, that they have intelligence, that some people want to hijack the protest and make it violent. Please, a responsible government, by now, if they are saying that since like 2 weeks ago, by now should have identified those people who want to cause violence and take them out of the space. And so that we that want to do peaceful protest can peacefully protest. But they are not doing that. Instead, they are asking us to not protest. Now, the demands of our protest, the question is that in a democracy, I can decide I want to protest for anything. The demand of the protest should not be justified. So one of the arguments that they've been making is that our demands are not justified. Tinubu is still working. The demands of a protest does not have to be justified before we can have a protest. And so this is the point we are making. We are saying that if Nigeria is going to be a democracy, Nigerians, the government should be urging Nigerians to exercise their rights to be citizens of their country, which is their right to protest. Our government should understand that an unused right is an abused right. And so we are going to use our right to protest by August 1. On this basis, we support the call of mass protest by Nigerians everywhere across the country, that protests should start by August 1 to address all of these issues with the theme of end bad governance. We will not fold our arms while political office holders mislead our country into ruin and peril and hardship and hunger and poverty. Last but not the least, let us make it clear that the security threat that the government has been giving us, we hear it very loud and clear. We are not leaders of the protest. We are mobilizers of the protest. Just like NSAS, our protest is the protest of the masses. No leaders are going to be picked up. No leaders are going to be coerced and manipulated to relinquish our struggle until our demands are met. On that basis, we would like to state clearly that we are using this opportunity to warn the Nigerian police that if you want to come to our protest, please come and protest against your unpaid salary. Come and protest against your low salary, your low allowances. Come and protect protesters. Come and protect protesters. Please do not come to incite violence in our protest. No state agent or agent provocateurs should come to our protest to incite violence. They will be dealt with decisively, and not by us. We can only promise that we will mobilize for protest. We will not stop Nigerian masses from defending themselves. If they have been attacked, if they have learned from NSAS and the massacres that was the major feature of NSAS, we will not stop them from defending themselves. And so, we are warning the Nigerian government to not incite violence, because they have history of inciting violence during protest. We still have pictures of people holding machetes, attacking protesters in Lagos. We must also state this clearly, that some have said that our protest is because we want to install a military government. We detest military dictatorship. Let that be loud and clear. Our protest is for our right to live as human beings in our own country. And for that reason, we do not support a military takeover. And so nobody should blackmail us that those are protesting are in support of a military takeover of Nigeria. We are exercising a democratic right, which is the right to protest. And on that basis, we want to also warn the military that Nigerians have learned from Lekki massacre and other massacres during the NSAS. We want to warn the DSS that we have learned over the years, and we will not stay silent, because you can beat people, but they will defend themselves. And we will not be responsible for that. It will be the cross of the Nigerian government.
Every protester is a leader of that protest. And if they are asking that who are those that have mobilized for this protest, the simple answer is that it is the Tinubu government and the cronies of the government themselves who are mobilized for this protest through the economic hardship they've melted on Nigerians. Because we ask, the problem of insecurity, does it exist? The answer is yes. The problem of hunger, does it exist? The answer is yes. Of economic hardship, does it exist? The answer is yes. The government changed the national anthem just recently. But the national anthem on the street has not changed. It is that of hunger, insecurity, and poverty in the midst of abundance. And to also point out the NSAS protest, because in the media these days, the government keep asking us not to protest because they don't want what happened during NSAS to repeat itself. I have said this repeatedly. The NSAS protest, all of us here were part of it. No protester came to the protest with machete. No protester came with the protest with gun. Protesters joined the protest with placards for a Nigerian flag and their voices for it to be heard. Those who unleashed attack, violence on the NSAS protest are first the Nigerian police in Lagos, Abuja, and the key places where the protests organized. In Abuja here, on the very first day, the police attacked the protest at Berger Bridge. Protesters were attacked there, so that we are not people who are not peaceful. But it is the government that should be advised not to embark on what they embarked on doing the NSAS by intimidating, attacking, and even killing Nigerian youth who are all out to seek for good governance. So we want to make our demands clear. Nigerian youth, not to be scared in their own land. For Nigeria belongs to all of us. Nigerians must not be scared of coming out to protest. So we are enjoining Nigerians to come out on August 1st as the point of protest which we are going to make public very soon, to come and exercise their democratic rights on August 1 and beyond. We are also using this opportunity to call on the Nigerian Labour Congress and the TUC not to become onlookers in this protest. We are demanding that NSC and TUC must also give support to this protest and back it up with a nationwide strike action coupled with this protest that we are demanding. So we are calling on NSC and TUC as a matter of urgency to also demand and call for general strike action in Nigeria.
We must state clearly that protest is not just a democratic right. Protest is also a democratic thing in itself. And so, from those of us who are here, personally, I have a history of 10 years protesting as an activist in Nigeria. And that means that if we are protesting, our culture is that a protest is a democratic place. A protest is a place where the people converge and have a congress of themselves, of the masses within themselves. And in that democratic setup, what we use that democratic setup is not just to address the concerns of the protest, it's to also look at the conduct of the protests, to ensure that when we democratically are together, we can fish out if anybody has been sent into our midst. That is the culture of a protest. That's the proper culture of a protest. A proper protest should have a congress in it of the people coming together and discussing. It is in that discussion that we detect if there are any security threats to us. And the second question about the fact that Tinubu himself was a protester at some point. Interestingly, we have videos already online where Tinubu was actually protesting against fuel subsidy removal.
No, what they say to us when they remove subsidy and we say no, hunger is increasing, they say so what? Unemployment is a cause, they say yes, we know. Why are the people hungry? Is that let them face death. That is what is in Abuja of today. The current way of governance, make nation do the impossible. What it does, it makes poverty and the erosion of just society inevitable. We have gathered at this hour, in this place, to put an end to the national corruption and corruption. We have assembled here today to bring a new day and a new Nigeria to our people.
So it is very, very very, very wrong of an elderly person. It is in Yoruba culture, an elderly person should not be lying. And so it is a lie that protest is not our right. And so if Tinubu can protest, we can also protest. Because he protested as part of a democratic process. And if possible, if Nigerians are protesting, if they decide that Tinubu should join their protest, no problem. But it is best that if anybody in the ruling class, in the political elite, wants to participate in this kind of protest, they should first go and heed to the demands of the protests. Because if they don't heed the demands of the protests and join protesters, we cannot guarantee whatever happens. The last thing, the demands of our protest has been read out. But the main point is that all of the policies, the anti-people policies that Tinubu has rolled out since May 29, 2023, all of them should be reversed. Thank you very much.